Whew, legs are feeling pretty beat. Welcome back to Self-Built. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 different variations of belt squats that you can do. Belt squats have to be one of the most popular leg builders and exercises in home gyms because it takes such little equipment and you can put a lot of weight on your legs, and also it helps and it doesn't put any strain on your lower back. So there's a lot of pluses to this exercise. Some common issues you may run into is not being able to get proper depth and not having a lot of flexibility as far as your stance goes, if you want your feet close together or wide. So some things do limit you. I'm going to show you different variations, tell you what they're good at. Some are really good at getting good depth, and other ones you can place your feet in whatever stance that you want. So what you're going to need is a belt that's got a chain on it, and let's jump into this. The first exercise is going to be the most common one that you would think, where you just attach a free weight to your belt. Instead of doing like a dumbbell or a plate or anything like that, we're going to be using a loading pin. My experience, this has been by far the best method if you're just going to add raw weight onto the plate, just because it sets it in one spot and it's just in a stack. So that way it's all contained. You can put a ton of weight on here and then you just attach it onto your belt. My favorite setup is to have 2 different foot placements. You can't see the other, it's right here. And then I'll set the weight here. You just need to find that right length of chain where you can just scoop it up and then lift it. I like to have something sturdy by me just to give me extra stability while I'm going. Step on up here, then just go down nice and easy, controlled. And this is where you're able to set whatever depth that you want, because depending on how long you have the chain is how long it'll let you go. So you can use it so you go super deep, or you get right to that parallel. And you can make it to where you're not going to go deeper than you want. So let's say if I fail, I'm not going to go any farther. So it does have some nice safety precautions involved. Then once you're done, I'll just slowly step down, place it here, and you're good. You don't have to use a bar, but I feel like I get more muscle activation because I don't have to worry about stabilizing. Those belt squats feel great. I like that you're able to go super deep. These ones, it's easiest to go the deepest, get the most range of motion. The negatives are, with it being free weight, if you're not going completely up and down, the weight can swing a little bit. And it does limit your foot placement. You're not able to go super narrow, but overall it's an excellent exercise. It definitely earns a spot being in every home gym or using it in any commercial gym too. Second variation of belt squats are going to be using cables as resistance. I've got 2 bottom cables. I'm going to connect them together and attach them to the weight belt. This is really going to change how your quads feel it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I just have a chain connecting the 2 pulleys together. You don't have to use 2 pulleys. You can just use one if you'd like. And then I move this carabiner down a few notches because otherwise it's going to be too tall for me. I still like to use this bar as stabilization. You have to get down a little bit lower as opposed to the other one. But once you get it all loaded up, I like to set the belt so it's not too high. And then just stand up. With this one, you have complete flexibility as far as the stance that you want with your feet, because there's nothing that's going to hit you. So it's really convenient that way. And this variation is really good at focusing on putting the weight more on the quads and not so much the hams or the glutes. The reason being is it's pulling me at an angle. It's not straight up and down. You could almost think of this as like a power leg extension exercise because you only feel this on the quads. It's nice that it gives you constant tension. There's no swinging weight, and you can go extremely low with this one too. And then when you're bottomed out, you can just have the weight on the ground and you're good to go. And then you can adjust how low you want to go with how much chain that there is. So just do whatever's most comfortable for you. But that is pretty much it. Third and final variation of belt squats I've got for you. This one is a Landmine version. I'm going to show you the setup because there's a couple tricks to it to make sure you get the most out of it. First thing you want to do before you put weight on is I like to put on a carabiner with some chain. This is what we're going to be attaching the belt to. This will ensure that you get the same resistance every time, because if you're doing it up there, you'd have to constantly change up your foot placement, know where to stand, and the leverage would be off a little bit. So this just gives you consistent results. And the last tip is if you've got a 1-inch bar, I like to put the collar inside, so that way it'll keep this raised up. If you don't have that, this will fall and sink down like a 1/2 inch or so. Just feels clunky because you have to lift up and then it will get to the weight. Just feels a lot more solid when it's got something like that. So it's once you start to lift, you've immediately got your weight. Depending on the depth that you're choosing will decide how deep you have to go to get this set up. So you can go pretty deep if you want, or not at all. So it's nice that it's up to you that way. And then as far as your foot placement, I like to have it about halfway up the plates. Just kind of makes it feel nice and even. And then just stand up just like this. With it being a Landmine, it's a little bit at an angle, so you just have to kind of account for that. And if you can, hang onto these plates as a little handle, and it is quite nice. You're not able to do your foot placement as close as the previous exercise, but it does feel really nice, and it is really stable too. One thing you can do, if you kind of want to get a few extra reps out, a little bit of cheating involved, is you can put your elbows on your legs just to kind of give you a little bit of oomph once you hit failure. And then once you're done, just sit down. Whew, legs are feeling pretty beat. Oh man, that was a good one. If you didn't know, this was actually my workout of doing these 3 belt squats. So my quads are just annihilated from doing this. Feels really good though. One thing with the Landmine belt squats is it works in a fixed position. And with that, place your feet and lower back accordingly to whatever feels best. For example, if you have your feet too far back and it's stretching you way over your toes, that's probably not going to feel very good on your knees. So start out light, feel it out, focus on technique first, get used to it, and then start to throw some weight on there. I hope this video helped you out and showed you that you can still get a crazy good leg workout, whether you're a home or a commercial gym, with just one of these and a little bit of creativity. If there's any other variations that you know of that I haven't put in here, definitely leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this, or if you'd like me to do some different styles of exercises, definitely let me know. I am all ears, and I appreciate you guys watching and following, so thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share with everyone that you know, and don't forget to tune in next time for more.